Good day, everyone. Today we have some more news concerning 9.1.5. We have some more things being planned, and we're gonna make a video about it because some of these things are pretty interesting and they are pretty good in some cases. So we're gonna go over these new additions, starting from your appearance, your transmogrification tools that are going to be available in 9.1.5. So Blizzard is sort of having a makeover of the wardrobe, of the in-game wardrobe when it comes to your appearance. So when you go into the PTR, you try to look, for example, at an item, and you're gonna show up the dressing room. Now, the first thing to notice with this dressing room is, of course, that now you have a list of items equipped for this set. Not really the actual piece of gear, but what it has been transmogrified to. Now, there is something kind of counterintuitive. You would expect, for example, when you went over all of these items to look at, for example, the Axe of Shattered Dreams, you would think you could somehow shift click on this or right click on this and it would be able to open up Dungeon Journal to tell you where does this axe come from. Since this entire thing is about transmog, you might as well know or remember where you can get this, but for the moment it doesn't tell you anything. It just shows you which items you're using for your transmog, not much else. There are still some issues with this which are persisting. For example, there are still problems for the game to properly identify when you're using artifact weapons. Very often, if you are a class that can use shields, you will have noticed this, or offhands. Your artifact weapon is going to be able to bypass this. For example, if you're a paladin, a holy paladin that can use basically a two-handed hammer instead of your weapon and shield because of how the artifact appearance looked for holy paladins. So it does still get kind of confusing when it gets to weapons. Now, one thing that doesn't get confusing is the ability to also now link your work in chat or even copy it to a clipboard. It's going to save a list of numbers, coded numbers, which are essentially the transmog set that you can now share online. Now, this is all cool and nice. However, we still have to mention that you have available add-ons that can do this job and more. So if you're really into transmog, looking cool, having different sets, hunting different sets from different dungeons or raids or whatnot, there are still add-ons that can do the job more thoroughly. This is kind of like when Blizzard added the Mythic Plus score. You know, if you were into Mythic Plus, in the end, Raider.io was still going to give you more info, more data, and more things to work with, as opposed to the default version from Blizzard. But, however, it is still okay, it is still good that Blizzard is, at the very least, officially putting this into the game as a default part of your interface. Now, about other additions, we now have the full modeled version, the full modeled look of the Spelltome, the new mount that is going to be introduced for completing all of the 7 challenges in the new old Mage Tower, available in 9.1.5. This is, for those who don't remember, this was in a contest that Blizzard had for a free mount to be developed for the release of Shadowlands, or for celebrating the release of Shadowlands, which was the Wandering Ancient, the tree that changes season, which just changed to orange for autumn. And by the way, that was the mount that won, and this was the second one. Now, it was never fully developed, it was never fully shown, it was just concept art. So now we have the actual finished version. Yeah, the animation of the character is still not done, but the mount itself is ready to go. You can also, of course, see the achievement, a tour of towers, which is to complete every unique challenge available at the Mage Tower. If you do this, you're gonna get your mount. We do also have some more changes, starting from a very minor one, which is the Anima Conductor change. Anima can now be channeled to all unlocked locations each day, when previously it was one per day. So you had to choose the location for the Anima Conductor to spawn whatever it was going to spawn. A rare, a chest, basically a world quest to do. Instead, now you can do it every day in all the locations. This is on 2 sides. This is very good because it means you can get more and more grateful offerings every day. And this is also bad because nobody wants to do this. So yeah, okay, in 9.1.5 you will be able to do this essentially, basically like 6 times as fast as before, but still, you would actually have to have the will to do this, and not many people do. If we go by the amount of people who bother to hunt for grateful offerings in game. One of the issues I always complained about, we also know that in 9.1.5 you will be able to get grateful offerings from your emissaries as well. Apparently this is another help for you to get more of that currency. The other change is pet battles related, because the ultimate battle training stones are now going to cost 35 polished pet charms instead of 60. Now, I'm not usually too into pet battles, but this is a pretty significant change. You know, this is the ultimate item that you can buy from vendors that could insta bring your pet to level 25, and it has gotten cut by almost 50% in price. So that's pretty relevant. The other change, the last change, and the more important change, of course, is the profession change. The gathering profession, if you will. Mining ore drop rates have been increased by 20%. Callous hide and heavy callous hide has been increased by 20%. The jewel crafting essence drop has been increased by 10%, and the lightless silk drop rate has been increased by 20%. Now, I haven't particularly found the prices of profession-related items too pricey in Shadowlands, to be honest, except with one pretty big outlier, which is the armor kits. Armor kits have been way overpriced compared to all the other things you were looking for your character, be it enchants or food, flasks, potions, oils. The only one that stood out for being much overpriced was the armor kits, which basically costed more than a flask at this point. So that's the only thing that came to mind when I saw the callous hide and the heavy callous hide being increased in drop rate by 20%. So I hope we're gonna get a pretty nice discount on armor kits once 9.1.5 comes out. Then we have the last change. This one is, I don't really know what to categorize this under. I'm not sure if you have noticed, but in the last few weeks, Blizzard has started this list of changes, apparently trying to fight sexism and win the war against the patriarchy or something. They changed the vanilla paintings to look less sexualized. They changed sexual innuendos from item and achievement names, like of course the good old Big Love Rocket being renamed to the X45 Heartbreaker, and they started changing NPC names, etc, etc. They changed all of the concubines in Karazhan, in the Maiden of Virtue wing. Now you also have guys in there, and they changed the names. They changed the names of the Den of Mortal Delights in Black Temple. Now names have been changed, male characters have been added as well. Another thing in this Repulisti by Blizzard is the removal of emotes. Yeah, that's right. So now drool, cough, burp, fart, whistle, spit and moon no longer change when used while targeting a player. So as you know, if you burp, your emote is just gonna say Aizen burps. But if you target someone else, it's gonna be something like you burp rudely in Anon's face, or Anon burps rudely in your face. That part of the emote has been removed. Now you can just do it without any targeting. You also have things like Pounce and Groan have been adjusted when used while targeting a player. 4 new emotes have been added. Huzzah, Magnificent, Impressed, and Wins. And then you have Kick, Stink, Shake, and Moan have been completely removed from the game. Now, I never really understood this too much, because you can make custom emotes, basically. Yeah, you won't get the animation, you won't get any sound from it, but you can still emote someone in however way you want to anyways. So this is another one of the things to put under the fixing the game list for Blizzard. I don't think this is going to achieve much of anything other than getting them more bad press for what they are doing, as if any of this has any real consequence. I'm not too sure, but I don't want to go too much into this, because as usual, whenever this type of argument gets brought into the discussion, it turns into a shit-flinging shit show, so I would rather stay out of it. I'm just voicing my displeasure and disappointment at it, but no more than that. So, with that, these were all the relevant changes happening in the last day or so for the future 9.1.5. We will eventually have to talk about just exactly when do we expect 9.1.5 to come out. At this point, we have gotten the vast majority of the changes already. The only thing that is also left to test on the PTR at this point is the Mage Tower challenges themselves. There is really nothing else left for testing, so it should be somewhat close, and then eventually we will be able to draw our conclusion, especially when it comes to the eventual release of 9.2. Because I'm starting to have some ominous thoughts about that. But for now, we can stop here. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you've enjoyed the content and you want to support the channel, you can leave a like on the video, comment down below, as well as subscribe to the channel. See you guys soon, and in the meantime, equality doesn't mean having the same amount of guys and gals present. Medivh is a straight dude. Why does he have male concubines in his tower? Who for?